guys, what's up? Welcome back to the part where we see if girls are the best or boys. So yesterday, when I was reading, we stopped by swimming, and there was some really difficult words by names of people. And today, let's hope we are better at that. So let's start. 3, 2, and 1. Swimming. Agents Beckwith. In 1875, while just a teenager, Agents swam the river Thames from London Bridge to Greenwich, about 6 miles. In 1880, she trod water for 30 hours in the whale tank of the Royal Aquarium of Westminster to equal the record set by Matthew Webb. Gertrude Trudy Ederle. Trudy was from New York City, but in 1926, when she was 19, she became the first woman to swim the English Channel. She did it in 14 hours, 31 minutes, which was 2 hours faster than the best boy in the time. Feats of strength. Lena Jordan. In 1897, Lena, as a young Latvian, became the first person in the world to do a triple somersault on the flying trapeze. No man managed to do it till 1909. If women can be strong and fit, what stopped them from doing more things? Have a seat while I change my clothes. It's hard to imagine, but one of the reasons why women in the past didn't do lots of things is because of the clothes they were supposed to wear. There was a dreadful thing called the corset. This was an item of underwear stiffened with a piece of whalebone or metal. It laced up at the back and was pulled tight to give women tiny 15-inch waists, often causing injuries, unable to breathe or sit or walk properly. Women that had to wear huge dresses on top of the corset. It's no wonder many of them never went far from home. Not surprisingly, it was women's selves who put an end to all of this. By changing their clothes, they allowed themselves to move about more easily and soon set out on bicycles and later in cars to explore the world. We should all be grateful to Elizabeth Smith Miller, 1822 to 1911. Every girl in the world should be thankful to Elizabeth Smith Miller. She was born in America in 1822 to an amazing family who risked their life rescuing runaway slaves on what was called the Underground Railroad. In those days, women were supposed to wear very big dresses over tight corsets, but Elizabeth decided she wanted to wear what was told as Turkish pantaloons or trousers. Elizabeth went to visit her cousin, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who thought that trousers were so marvelous, she wanted some for herself. Okay. So, girls can be strong and if they're dressed properly, good at sport, but please, boys are best at fighting. Well, actually, they're not the only ones. It's easy to look at the history and assume that war and fighting were something that only men took a part in. But check again, and you will find that lots of brave women were involved in battles, sieges, and duels. Did you know that during the Second World War, 800,000 women fought in the Russian army? 560,000 of them at the front. 100,000 of them received medals. And did you know that the Soviet Union had 1,000 women fighter and military transport pilots? How about the fact that 12,000 women fought for the Israeli army in the 1948 war in the independence? The Israelis researched women's skill in combat and found that childless women were just as good or better than men. The only reason women with kids were not quite as good as they didn't want to kill people. This shows that girls are also best at setting good examples as parents. If you don't need proof that women are good at fighting, then just look at the law passed over the years trying to stop them. Law forbidding women to fight. After day 200, Emperor Alexander Severus banned women from fighting as Galders. After date 590, the synod Drume Keats tried to stop women from serving as soldiers but failed because the women warners refused to give up. 1189, the Pope banned women from joining the Third Corset. Over the years, various popes tried to stop women from engaging in martial combat or wearing armor. It was one of these decrees that was used against Joan of Arc. So here we have a question. It is, what was the only crime Joan of Arc was found guilty of? The answer is wearing men's clothes. 1644, King Charles of England banned women in the English army from wearing men's clothes. 1795, the French revolutionary government ordered French women to go home and made it illegal for them to attend political meetings or even meet in groups of 5 or more. 1950, David Ben-Gurion ordered women in the Israeli army out of the front line. The last woman left in the mid-1960s. Women fighters in history. Amazons. The ancient Greeks had a legendary woman fighters called Amazons. They were supposed to have invented the javelin, the shield, and the battle axe. The kings of Persia are said to have had female bodyguards. The Nizams of Hyderabad in south-central India had female guards. The kings of Kandy in Sri Lanka were protected by arteries. There were a squad of female cavalry in 11th century Japan. Attila the Hun, 450, had women serving in his army. So did Gen. Here we have another really difficult word. We're just going to skip that. 12th century when he invaded the West. In the 19th century, 400 women armed with spears protected by King of Siam. Women carried on fighting professionally until after day 200, when the Emperor Severus banned girls from the arena. That doesn't mean there were no more women fighters. Lots of early writers talk about female warriors on the battlefield, and 30 captive women Goths were paraded in front of the Emperor early in after date 283. Anybody want proof? Ugh. I am so sorry. Okay, I said roof instead of proof. Okay, anybody want proof? If some clever boy doesn't believe you about the female gladiators, take him to the British Museum in London. Go look at the marble relief. The ancient Greek city of Halicarnassus is now a place called Bodrum in Turkey. An ancient marble relief was found here and taken to the British Museum. It shows two female gladiators, one calling herself Amazon, the other Achilleia. They are shown wearing long clothes and traditional gladiatorial armor to protect the legs, greaves, and arms, manica. They both carry a sword and a shield. So that was it for today. I am really sorry for those who didn't understand some words. I may put some meanings in the description box if you would like to understand clearly. And I will continue reading Girls Are Best until we finish it and show the world that girls are the best and men can do things, but at the same time, girls can do the same things and even more. Thank you for watching. Bye!